And hello, one and all, and we are live. Welcome to my review for tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw. We're going to take a look and break down everything that took place on the October 3rd, 2016 edition of Monday Night Raw that emanated from Los Angeles, California, at the Staples Center, home of the LA Kings. And, going into the show, I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be watching it. Last week, as you all know, I didn't even get through watching the full episode of Raw. I was just tuned out. The presidential debate was on. I had enough. But I actually have to say, I am glad that I tuned into Raw tonight. And it's been a long time since I said this, but I actually enjoyed tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw. It's been a long, long time since I've said this. Was this a perfect show? No, it was not. But I felt there was enough on this show that I enjoyed in that, made me give it the grade that I'm going to give it tonight. So I will get into my grade by the end of this review, as you all know how this works. So, like I said, we're going to go match by match, segment by segment, and I'll give you my full thoughts and opinions. Of course, tonight we just finished seeing Sasha versus Charlotte for the Women's Championship, so we'll have that to talk about. So I overall thought there was a lot more good than negative on this show compared to what we have seen in the weeks past. This has definitely been a much better episode of Raw. So let's get into this review. And I want to say right now, thank you to all who are tuning in live to watch this. So kudos. Thanks, guys. So how did we kick off this week's edition of Raw? Well, we kind of kicked it off the same way that we kicked off last week's edition of Raw. We had Roman Reigns. Roman made his way down to the ring. And before he could even begin talking, Lana interrupted him. And him and Lana would have a little back and forth. Lana pretty much told Roman to go to hell. She told him to go to hell a couple times for ruining the wedding, ruining pretty much everything for them. And then Roman and Rusev begin to brawl. They begin to brawl outside the ring, brawl in the crowd a little bit. And then as Rusev is standing on the stage, Roman comes out of nowhere, hits him with the Superman punch, and this is what Reigns says at the end. Reigns says if Lana wants him to go to hell, he's going to take her and Rusev with him, and he challenges Rusev to a Hell in a Cell match, and we later on have that match confirmed for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I actually did think this was a nice brawl, so I kind of enjoyed this, but I'm kind of down right now on the Rusev-Reigns feud. Just can't really get too much into it for the fact that, we've seen the match in August. That was once. We've seen it again at Clash of Champions. And we saw it the next night on Raw for 30 minutes, which went to that stupid double countout finish. And we're going to see them fight again at Hell in a Cell, inside the cell. And I was worried they were going to do a Hell in a Cell match stipulation. Let me know, guys, what do you think? Do you think this feud, this match screams Hell in a Cell? Because to me, this doesn't scream like, I agree, it is boring. It just doesn't scream to me like it deserves to be inside of a Hell in a Cell match. Hell in a Cell this is why I don't like the idea of the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view happening, every October. Why not bring back Halloween Havoc? The pay-per-view, I'm looking at it on my calendar. It's the day before Halloween. Can we scrap Hell in a Cell and just rename it something else? But yeah, so not really a big fan of the Hell in a Cell stipulation. I would have rather have seen, maybe a Falls Count Anywhere stipulation, or maybe a no holds barred. But we're getting a Hell in a Cell match. Could be good, but I've just really lost steam for this feud. I thought this could have been a good feud, but the writing has just been, and the booking has just been piss poor. So yeah, like I said, I did like the brawl that they had, so that was nice. We then had what I thought was, I actually enjoyed this match better than their match at Clash of Champions. Brian Kendrick took on TJ Perkins in a non-title match. Perkins, Kendrick, I thought they had some really good chemistry here. I don't know. I just thought the match itself flowed better than the match they had at Clash Champions. It was nice seeing them, kick off they didn't really kick off the show, but they were the first match on the show. So it was nice to see this week. The cruiserweights were in a better position. And yeah, so I thought Perkins and Kendrick went out there, told a pretty good story in the ring. Kendrick, the crafty veteran, he was able to lock in the captain's hook for the second time after he raked Perkins right in the eyes. That set up the captain's hook. Kendrick made Perkins tapped out, so it looks like we will be seeing Brian Kendrick getting another crack at TJ Perkins' Cruiserweight Championship. I have to say, shout out to TJ Perkins, that NES-style entrance, it fucking kicks ass. As you know, as you can see, I am a huge Nintendo fan, so when I saw that entrance, I was just like, this is awesome. How can you, it's grown on me. I wasn't really a fan of it at first, but I love hearing it every single time. So it's a kick-ass song, and just good stuff from the Cruiserweights. I thought tonight I really enjoyed what the Cruiserweights had to offer, and we have another Cruiserweight match after this later on in the show that we'll get into. But yeah, looks like we will be getting Kendrick versus Perkins for the Cruiserweight Championship at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. We then had, I enjoyed this sit-down interview segment with Michael Cole and Seth Rollins. I like this. It's something different. It's not an in-ring promo. You kind of mute the crowd audio and you just focus in on what Rollins was saying. And Rollins pretty much said in this interview that he said he's clear to compete. He said that Rollins said that both him and Owens had a ton of success, but that's where the comparison stops. Rollins says there's no way that Kevin Owens could ever replace him. He says Owens is just a cog in the machine, and Rollins said he's going to tear that machine to the ground, and he is going to cancel the Kevin Owens show. So I liked it. It was something different, change of pace, these sit-down interviews. Maybe we could see them more on a regular basis. So good stuff, I have to say. We then had Braun Strowman come out and beat the shit out of Chase Silver. Somebody made a note on Twitter that this Chase guy kind of looked a little bit like Adam Cole, baby. So I thought that, I knew he looked familiar. So I kind of saw the comparison going there. But yeah, Strowman gets down there, hits the running power slam for the win. That wasn't the important thing. The important thing that I got out of this, finally, something from Braun Strowman, maybe a development that we'll have to see going in the weeks to come. Strowman got on the mic. He pretty much said that his path of carnage is going to continue. And he says if Mick Foley doesn't get him some real competition next week, then there isn't going to be a next week. So that's interesting. Let's see where they go with this. I'd like to see Strowman enter into a feud. I'm not sure who. Maybe let me know, guys, down in the comments section below. Who would you like to see Braun Strowman feud with? Who do you think would be the right guy to put him in the ring against? And yeah, because the closest answer I can come up with is Big Cass. Somebody said maybe a returning Luke Harper. We'll have to see. But yeah, that was interesting. I really, that part, can't think of the right word, intrigued me. There it is. So we'll have to see where they go with that. After this, we had, this was probably, it was the best segment on the show. Why? Because it was Kevin Owens and fucking Chris Jericho. And every time he put Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho in the ring, it's gold. It's priceless. It is, wait for it. Here it comes. What word am I going to say? Glorious. Yes, it was. It was glorious. Owens, Jericho, they're going on a verbal diatribe, about how, maybe they should team up and challenge the New Day for the tag team championships. And the one thing that I liked about this in-ring segment before the New Day came out was Jericho potentially teasing that he might want to go after Owens' Universal Championship. But Owens quickly said, no, you don't. Let's go after the tag titles. So I like the hinting of that. I'd like to see Jericho versus Owens, I keep saying it, at Survivor Series for the Universal title. I think it'd be awesome. I think it'd be the right time in Canada, Toronto. What better time than to go with that? So I like that little tease there. So hopefully that seed is planted and we can return to that with a nice, proper, long-term booking angle. So we'll see where they go with that. But eventually the New Day would come out, and I really enjoyed the back and forth here. This was some of the best stuff from New Day that I've seen in the last couple of weeks. It was much better than Old Day, much better than the stuff that was going on with them in the club. The one line that I really liked was Owens said, New Day pretty much jumped the shark. And then Xavier said, when was the last time Owens ever jumped over anything? I freaking lost it there. And New Day accepted the challenge from Jericho. So we have that match to look forward to later on in the night. So really, really just a solid, enjoyable segment. Good stuff right here. We then had Sami Zayn versus Titus O'Neil. It was an okay match. It was nice to see Sami Zayn get the win here. I would like to see Sami Zayn have some type of feud, some type of direction. I don't know. Can we think of something to do with Sami Zayn? Because if you're not going to do anything with him, I'm sure Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon would like to see him on SmackDown Live. So just saying. Seems kind of directionless at the moment. Same thing with Neville. Where the hell is Neville? Can we put him in the Cruiserweight division? Because that's what I was hoping we'd see. I heard he was on Superstars. So just shakes my head when I hear that. So they need to do better with Sami Zayn and Neville. Definitely. We then had what looked to me like, okay, they beat these guys once. Then they beat them again. Then they beat them again. And we're at the point of, can we even take these guys seriously? And you know I'm all talking about Anderson and Gallows. They played a little vignette before the match, and Anderson and Gallows said that they're going to carve a path of destruction. Shout out to Ultra Shadow. Great idea. I would love to see Sami Zayn. I advocated this as well. What do you think of Sami Zayn feuding with a heel Roman Reigns for the U.S. title? Now that would be fucking awesome, but they won't do that. So, but yeah, getting back to Anderson and Gallows, they fought the Golden Truth. They beat the Golden Truth, thank God. Because if they would have lost to the Golden Truth, I would have been like, what the hell are you doing with this team? I would just throw my hands up and just been like, seriously? They're going to lose to the Golden Truth? Afterwards, they attack and beat down Goldust and R-Truth. So, yeah, they seriously need to rebuild Anderson and Gallows. They need to build them back up as just dominant, ass-kicking, take no prisoners, sons of bitches. It's really simple. You know, it's going to probably take a long time since you've, can I say the word buried? I mean, I don't like to throw that term around, but that's just how it's felt after they lost at SummerSlam. They lost at Clash, and they lost the next night on Raw. It's just like, you have to build these guys back up. So, in my mind, maybe I was thinking you have maybe a feud for a couple months with them and Enzo and Cass. I hate to say it, but have them go over in the feud with Enzo and Cass, and then have them, when New Day breaks the record for longest reigning tag team. I think that'll be around the Roadblock pay-per-view, which will be in Pittsburgh, PA, which I will be in attendance at. That will be, I believe it's on December 18th, I want to say. Let me double-check that. Correct, December 18th. So just a little long-term booking I want to throw out there with what you could do with the club, because they seriously need to be rehabbed. So, yeah. So it was nice seeing them win a match and look stand tall and dominant at the end of it. We then had New Day versus Jericho. Really solid, enjoyable match. The one thing I have to say was commentary in this match. God awful. Ashton Kutcher and whoever the other stupid idiot was with him, I don't know. He just made me want to freaking take my remote and throw it through my 56-inch TV. It was just like, enough. You guys suck. I mean, it was just, it was awful. To me, it almost took away from the match. I mean, these guys, these guests were babbling. And it's just like, I had no idea what the hell they were talking about. They were distracting from the match, which I thought was pretty good. Seth Rollins' music would hit later on towards the end of the match. And I have to say, Seth got a really nice pop on this show. The crowd went nuts, and Seth would stand on the entranceway, and eventually towards the end of the match, came down Jericho and Big E, and Big E attempted to, Jericho was able to get Xavier Woods into the Walls of Jericho submission after Woods tagged himself in off Big E, and Rollins would eventually run down to the ring, and Jericho would release the Walls of Jericho. Big E and Woods hit the midnight hour on Jericho for the win, thanks to the Rollins distraction. And after the match, Rollins gets in the ring and pedigrees, if I could say it right, Chris Jericho. So really like the fire that Seth Rollins displayed tonight. Like I said, his metamorphosis into a babyface is almost complete. Massive reaction for this guy tonight. I enjoyed the sit-down interview with Michael Cole. And then afterwards, I really liked what he told. He finally stuck it again to Stephanie McMahon, told that bitch pretty much to shut the hell up, and that, either you give him a title shot or he's going to burn Raw to the ground along with Owens and Jericho. And I really liked the line that he got in about, there were two mistakes that Triple H made: piss off Seth Rollins and marry Stephanie McMahon. So he got her with that line. it's just anytime that somebody can get one up over Stephanie and not made to look like a bumbling goof, with her standing tall and mighty and dominant and slapping the hell out of them, is a win-win in my scenario. So I'm glad they're taking that route with Seth Rollins and not having Stephanie dress him down like a little schoolboy. So good stuff right there. I also enjoyed tonight on the show, Can You Handle This? Rich Swann versus Tony Nese. And I was really surprised but happy to see Tony Nese get the win in what I thought was an enjoyable Cruiserweight Classic match. I thought these two really worked well together. The crowd seemed somewhat into this match. Some really nice moves and back and forth high-octane offense between these two guys. And like I said, Tony Nese really impresses me. He's got a good physique, good size for a Cruiserweight, really agile, but also looks, very, very, dominant in the ring. So, I like Rich Swann. Huge fan of Rich Swann, but I think Nese needed this win more so than Swann. The pinfall came after Swann attempted a handspring attack, but Nese caught Swann, and he hit his finisher for the victory. So props to Tony Nese. Good match between Rich Swann and Tony Nese. So what more can I say from this? I really enjoyed it. So good stuff tonight, I have to say, from the Cruiserweights. We then had Sheamus and Cesaro versus two local talent. There was some bickering back and forth between both guys. But of course, Sheamus hit a bro kick, and Sheamus and Cesaro win. So not really too much to say about this. They are in line for a tag team championship opportunity between them and the New Day. So not really sold on the idea of Sheamus and Cesaro as a tag team. I really wanted to see Cesaro get the Universal Championship opportunity. So disappointed with that, but I'll have to see how this storyline plays out over the long term and where they go with both of these guys. But tonight, what they did was okay. There was one nice spot I have to mention in this match was when Sheamus was in the ring and Cesaro jumped off his back and hit a DDT onto the jobber in the ring. So that was really nice. Good stuff. And then we move on to our main event, which was Charlotte versus Sasha Banks. The first time that the women have main evented Raw since, I believe, Trish and Lita. What was that, in 2004? Hope I got my years right. But before the match, I really liked when Dana Brooke confronted Bayley, and Bayley took out Dana Brooke, thereby making this a fair fight between Sasha and Charlotte. The only nitpick that I have from this match, and it wasn't the match itself, it was there's too many commercial breaks. I mean, did anybody else notice this? I mean, seriously, they did the same thing on SmackDown when Styles and Ambrose fought. It's just like enough with the commercial breaks. Somebody let me know if you guys are watching down in the comments section. Remember when Raw used to, or WWE used to say, okay, we're done with commercial breaks. We're not taking any more. This is our main event. I'm just curious, when did they stop doing that? Because I wish they would bring that back, especially for main event matches like this. Just don't take any commercial breaks. Just let the match play out and let us enjoy it. Just, to me, it takes away from the match when you have, the match starts and then you immediately go to commercial. It's just like, ugh, it makes me roll my eyes. But this was really good work, really good effort from Sasha and Charlotte. Great stuff. But yeah, they at least went 15 minutes, and the one really amazing spot I thought Charlotte was going to freaking kill herself was when she went and hit that corkscrew moonsault. She kind of missed Sasha a little bit, but it was still the sight of seeing Charlotte, who's one of the most impressive female athletes on the roster, hit that. Just beautiful. And then what really surprised me was Sasha locked in the bank statement, and she made Charlotte tap out, and Sasha became your two-time women's champion on Raw. I wasn't sure if they were going to put the title on the boss tonight, or would they rather wait for Hell in a Cell, which is, I've been saying, it's in Boston, it's in her hometown, but no, they put it on her in LA. The crowd went nuts, so that was really good to see. Really happy to see Sasha as a women's champion, but I kind of wanted them to wait until Hell in a Cell, because imagine the reaction in her hometown would have been more momentous. And it's like, where do we go from here? We're going to see another rematch between Charlotte and Sasha Banks. We'll have to see for Hell in a Cell what their plans are for them. But really good work, really good effort, like I said, from Sasha and Charlotte. Like I said, only one botch in the match, and that really didn't take away from it at all. So really good main event match. And like I said, this was probably the best episode of Raw since August, going that far back. So happy to finally give Raw a B+. That's what I'm giving Raw tonight, a B+. You guys watching live, let me know down in the comment section below, what did you think of Raw tonight? And what did you like? What didn't you like? And of course, remember to take my poll. I put it up immediately after Raw on my Twitter at DanielGuys412. 7 of you have voted. 86% of you gave Raw a thumbs up, and 14% of you gave Raw a thumbs down. So thank you all for participating in that. Ultra says he gives it a solid B. I agree. Enjoyable episode of Raw. So like I said, I'm glad I ended up tuning in. I'm glad you guys ended up tuning into my live review. I want to say thank you for all who tuned into this live review. Remember to please click that like and subscribe button coming for more content coming soon to my channel. And like I said, I'll be back up tomorrow night, guys, for my live review for SmackDown, the go-home edition to No Mercy. So that should be good stuff. Should be around 10:05 p.m. So until then, guys, take care and have a good night. And I will see you guys tomorrow night.